What is going, guys? Ox here and welcome back to my channel. We are back with yet another Akko Cs Switches. But this time, let's take a look at the Matcha Greens. This is one of the first budget linear that Akko released alongside with the Rose Red. And I'll also make a short comparison between the Rose Red, Vintage White, and the Radiant Red. The switches was lubed with a Krydox 205 grade 0, and if you want to hear my thoughts and opinion about the Matcha Greens, please do stick around at the end of the sound test. We're also nearing at 1k subscribers, so if you haven't, please do leave a sub. This would be the last time that I will be covering the CS switches from Akko unless they would be releasing a new one. And a quick disclaimer, guys, the sound and experience may vary depending on your keyboard build. I'm using the Vega 65 with a PCB to plate foam, tape modded, and no case foam. For consistency, on my previous Akko sound test, I'm still using the PBT Geek Art keycaps, and with that out of the way, and without further ado, please do enjoy the sound test. So that was the sound test for the Matcha Greens and a short comparison between the other CS switches. Let me know what you think about them on the comment section down below. I would love to know your thoughts and opinion, or if you already have them. Again, the prices of the switches goes for $10 for a pack of 45. Before we talk about my thoughts and opinion about the Matcha Greens, you know the drill. Let's break down the materials that was used on the switch. In case you haven't noticed, this are a 3-pin switch with a 50-gram actuation force. So we have the one and only pump that was used on the stem. Polycarbonate was used on the top housing. Nylon was used on the bottom housing. And last but not the least, the spring. Like the rose red, these have a 15mm progressive coil spring. And also, here's the spring difference between the vintage white and radiant reds. Now let's talk about my thoughts and opinion on the Akko Matcha Green. A quick disclaimer guys, the sound and experience may vary depending on your keyboard build. I am using the Vega 65 with a PCB to plate foam, tape modded, and no case foam. For the feel, at first it was really sluggish and it felt a bit plasticky for me, but after using them for a week, it was quite smooth. The progressive spring is more noticeable here than the rose red, and the actuation and the bottom out force on this feels just about right. I didn't find it light like the rose red and the vintage white. I can also say that it feels the same as the radiant red. On stock, there's a little bit of spring ping, but to my surprise, it's not that scratchy as the other CS switches. As you know, this came in pre-lube and was decently okay and a bit consistent on the batch that I received. I still suggest lubing them of course, as it will give you a more smoother experience. For the sound, it sits really well for my preference. It's not that deep, but it has a bit of a high-pitched sound. Again, nothing really worth noting about the sound, just like the rose red. And I can say it's a bit close to the radiant red. So it's a fairly decent sounding linear. Overall, I actually didn't expect too much on the Matcha Greens, as this was the least requested on my comment section. But after trying it out, it wasn't that bad. In terms of the main difference between the other CS switches would be, again, the typing feel. This is more balanced for me and didn't feel light at all. The progressive spring still gives it a great addition to the switch, making it a bit comfortable to type on despite having the light actuation force. In the end, it would really boil down to your preference as the main factor when choosing from the Akko CS switches. It would be like the actuation force or the spring weight of each CS switch. I do suggest checking the chart that Akko made and provided on the website to see the other differences like the pre-travel, the total travel, and other specs of each CS switch. So that is it for the video guys. Let's try to aim and get 40 likes for this video. And finally, this would be the last video for the CS switches by Akko. We covered all 6 of the versions, and I would like to say thank you guys for the support, as all of the videos are really doing well. The vintage whites are already around 18k views, and that is insane. Again, thank you guys for the support, and I will still be uploading sound tests trying out the CS switches, but on a more budget keyboard as requested by you guys. I really hope you like the whole series. Let me know what you think about the Matcha Greens. And oh, before we end the video, just in case you haven't noticed, we are on our way and really close to 1k subscribers. So if you haven't, please do consider a sub. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on the next sound test. Peace.